Hi Taurus, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. This is a general love reading for the sign of Taurus for the upcoming week of February. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Everything that you need to know about this reading is in the description box below, so please check that out. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate your support. I do want to remind all of my viewers that because this is a general love reading, it can pertain to relationships, situations, and circumstances, just about anything. So take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. My intention, as always, is to reach people who need the message and who will benefit the most from the message. So we'll get started after a couple more shuffles. I do also want to remind you to be flexible with the energy. You may feel like I'm reading for you, but you could potentially also feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. Okay, Taurus? So let's give this deck a cut and we'll see what's going on with Taurus this week. Here we go. We're starting off with the Page of Pentacles in your underlying energy, paired with the 10 of Cups. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. The Chariot in reverse. The Queen of Cups in reverse. The Four of Wands. And the Page of Wands. So it looks like you are trying to leave behind some disappointment, Taurus. Maybe letting go of something that didn't go your way, or a missed opportunity, or something that didn't transpire for you. But I think you're trying again, because I think that whatever this is, this Ace of Pentacles in reverse that's on the table, I think that this is something that you really want. And that maybe it just hasn't worked out for you in the past because the timing wasn't right, or there were some mistakes made. Maybe you didn't feel like you had the resources or the experience or the know-how, and I think that left you feeling disappointed, maybe a little sad. But I get the feeling that you're trying again because you know it's potentially a 10 of Cups energy, something that will give you a lot of fulfillment, make you feel very happy and joyful. And I do feel like you've come to an understanding maybe that this is just going to take some time to build, some time to transpire, whether this is a relationship or an opportunity for you, maybe a new job or a new creative endeavor. I think that you're ready to accept that sometimes things just don't work out the first time around, right, Taurus? You have to try, and you have to get past the disappointment and just keep pushing, keep working at it, and eventually it works out for you. Let's see what else we get for you, Taurus. So we have Temperance and the Page of Cups. The Queen of Wands. The Four of Pentacles, this time in the upright position, in the same set of cards with the Four of Pentacles. We have the King of Wands in reverse. The Page of Pentacles, this time in reverse. The Ace of Wands. And the Nine of Swords. So this could be pertaining to a relationship. Could potentially be a romantic connection. Could be a friendship connection, coworker, someone that you feel close to. I do feel like you're the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups energy that I have on the table so far. The Queen of Wands is somebody who's very ambitious. This is somebody who's very active, somebody who goes after what she wants. She can be very creative, social, somebody very outgoing. I feel like this is the person possibly that missed out on an opportunity or made a mistake and something slipped out of her hands, and she's trying again. Working on getting over the disappointment. I also feel like you're this Queen of Cups in reverse. This could have been a brand new relationship that you were trying to establish with this King of Wands, possibly. And I feel like right now, things are kind of at a standstill with this King of Wands. King of Wands in reverse can be somebody who, in the upright position, is a natural born leader. Somebody similar to the Queen of Wands is somebody who's a go-getter, very ambitious, not afraid to take action, not afraid to accept responsibility. In the reverse, this can be someone kind of the opposite, somebody who maybe has lost his will to take action, or has given up his power, or feels maybe a little insecure about accepting some responsibility. King of Wands can also be somebody who's dealing with anger issues, maybe misusing his power, not accepting responsibility or taking action where action is needed. I feel like this King of Wands right now, with this Chariot in reverse, his energy is very stagnant. He's come to a screeching halt. He's kind of dwelling in this shadow energy right now, whereas the Queen of Wands feels like she's trying again, that she's ready to make an effort again. She's ready to move on from a disappointment and see if she can't make things work this time around. So we've got the Four of Wands in reverse this time. And the Two of Cups in your underlying energy. That one's clarifying the Ten of Cups. The King of Pentacles in reverse. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Nine of Wands in reverse. The Eight of Swords in reverse. The Fool in reverse. And the Nine of Cups. So it feels like this is a relationship that you're dealing with, maybe something where there was a mistake made, or something that caused this relationship to become a little unstable. Maybe there was a conflict in the past that you two were dealing with. This Queen feels like she's ready not only to accept some responsibility regarding some mistakes made, but I feel like she wants to try again. I'm not sure where this King of Wands stands. I also feel like this Queen of Wands is not necessarily willing to move forward with someone who's not willing to accept responsibility or not feeling confident. I think this is a potential Two of Cups relationship. This could be a romantic connection. But I think there were some mistakes made, or something that caused this relationship to come to a standstill, to cause these two people to pause for a minute to maybe reflect on where this is going, where it's headed. This King of Wands feels to me like he might be giving up. Like he's throwing his hands up in the air and saying, I'm not doing this anymore. So he hasn't made any effort to move forward. It may feel like, or it may be that he has given up on this relationship, or has stated that he's giving up on it. I feel like this Queen of Cups in reverse is the same energy as the Queen of Wands. It's possible that you've been dealing with, again, I'm reading for the Queen of Wands, but you can be either one of these people. Be flexible with the energy, and it can be vice versa. So if this reading's resonating, you'll know if it is, and you'll also know who you are in this reading. I feel like the Queen of Wands was dealing with some emotional conflict, maybe feeling sad or disappointed, or feeling rejected by this King of Wands. I feel like he gave up on her. And this Queen of Wands feels like she wants to try again, but she's not willing to try again with somebody who, again, who's not willing to accept responsibility or is not feeling confident about where this relationship's headed. So currently, there's a little instability. However, I feel like there is some significant promise regarding this relationship if one or both parties are willing to come forward and accept some responsibility about some mistakes made in the past and willing to step forward and reconcile or communicate how things can be improved and how things can be made better so that they can have a new start. But there's a little bit of caution right now moving forward. I think that either one or both parties are still in their head, maybe worrying about whether or not the other one wants this relationship or wants it as bad as the other person enough to make another effort, to try again, maybe to start over, maybe leaving behind the mistakes that were made in the past so that they can have a new start, a new beginning, to rebuild again toward this Four of Wands energy. But we have the Fool in reverse, which tells me that either you or this King or both, it feels more like the King's energy is feeling a little cautious about moving forward toward this. You might at the very least be wanting to express your desires to reconnect or communicate what you want. But there's some anxiety or some fear surrounding the communication or the reconnecting or reconciliation. I think that the Queen of Wands might be willing to admit at this point in time that she made some mistakes in the past regarding maybe being overly demanding or feeling like her expectations were not reasonable with regards to this relationship or this King of Wands, maybe what she wanted out of the relationship. It feels like this Queen of Wands is willing to accept her mistakes and this King of Wands so far has not. Or is feeling uncertain about the relationship, or he's just not making any moves right now. Whereas this Queen of Wands, I feel like, is ready to try again, or at least communicate and admit some faults and try again. Let's get some more cards out here for you, Taurus. So we have the Ace of Pentacles again in reverse. And there's the Fool again, this time in the upright position. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. The Ten of Cups, this time in reverse. The Hangman in reverse. The High Priestess in reverse. The Magician. And the Seven of Swords. Clarifying the Nine of Swords. So these two cards have me a little bit troubled here. It feels like there may have been some wrongdoings or some deceit in the past. maybe someone willing to come forward and communicate that, or wanting to come clean, or wanting the other person to communicate what they did wrong. There's this desire to get things out in the open, to talk about something. And frankly, it feels like both parties are at fault for some conflict within the relationship, but I feel like the Queen is willing to make the effort to come forward and communicate and admit her wrongdoings, whereas this King is not, right now anyway. This King feels like he's ready to throw in the towel, like he just wants to give up. I think both feel that this is a missed opportunity, that if this relationship gets tossed to the wayside, that they're both missing out on something that could potentially be quite good. And really the only thing standing in their way is the decision about who's going to come forward or who's going to initiate this new start, or take a chance on communicating, or take a chance maybe on coming forward with an apology, or communicating first their wrongdoings within this relationship, the mistakes that were made. Let's get this last round out here for you, Taurus, and then we'll see what else we can come up with. So we have the Moon in reverse. The Five of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups, this time in the upright position, clarifying this Queen of Wands. The Eight of Cups. The Five of Swords in reverse. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. The Ace of Wands in reverse, clarifying the Ace of Wands in the upright position. And the Three of Swords, clarifying this scary set of cards that I showed you before. So there's been some significant heartache, some deception, possibly some wrongdoing, someone getting away with something, someone mistreating somebody. And there's a desire to come clean, to come out in the open with this, to communicate this. I think the desire is on the Queen's part. I think she wants to manifest a new beginning. I think she wants to try again, but she's afraid. She's feeling cautious about this. This may or may not be something that slips out of her hands. This may or may not be something that transpires into this Four of Wands, where she's able to, or they are able to, establish a solid relationship, something with a solid foundation. But both parties have to admit where they went wrong. I think that this Queen may have expressed or wants to express the fact that she knows she made some mistakes in this situation. She knows what she did wrong. She might be willing to express that right now, and it would make her very sad to walk away from the situation. I think she wants to hang on to this relationship. But the King right now is not making an effort. I think the King might be feeling like the Queen is playing some mind games with him, and that it's not worth it for him to try again, that he, at this point in time, is wanting to give this up, wanting to throw in the towel, not willing to fight for this. This could potentially, with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse on the table here, this could potentially be a marriage. At the very least, this feels like this is a relationship of longevity. And giving this up is devastating to this Queen. She doesn't want to admit that this is something that is going to be dropped to the wayside and left behind. But this king is not making an effort right now. I think that both parties need to admit some things that maybe in the past they haven't been willing to admit. Maybe reveal some secrets. Admit that they took part in this missed opportunity, this relationship. And as it stands right now, there is no reconciliation. It hasn't happened yet. If there's been an attempt, I don't feel like it's gone anywhere yet. And mainly because this King of Wands is just not willing to make an effort. But this is a significant relationship, one that at least in the past has brought both people a lot of happiness and joy, a lot of love. But right now, this new beginning is not transpiring for the two people involved. And again, I feel like I'm reading for this Queen of Wands, but you could be either person in this reading. You decide what makes sense to you. Obviously, if it's resonating, you're going to know if you're the king or queen. I only have the two energies on the table. I feel like there is a lot that needs to be revealed. I feel like there's a significant conversation that needs to be had if there's anything, any hope for this relationship moving forward. Because I think both parties are at fault for mistakes made, wrongdoings toward each other. This queen still has deep and significant love for this king. I think this king is just mad. Honestly, I'm not sure that he is even expressing his emotions or willing to admit the emotions that he might have for this queen. He might be a little bit in denial or just trying to escape the conflict altogether by just not acknowledging the conflict or refusing to work on things, refusing to admit mistakes or wrongdoings. So let's get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card for you, Taurus. Is that the one? I'm going to keep shuffling a little bit. See if we can add some clarity to this situation, give you something to walk away with. I'm going to take both of these since they popped out together. And they're both in reverse. We have Wisdom and Healing. I will be reading both of these. If they're in reverse, they're potential blockages. I'm going to read Healing first. These are influence cards. They're the major arcana, and they are a little bit different than the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. They have different meanings, and we'll see if we can add some clarity to the situation. Where are you? Healing card. Okay, there it is. So we'll start with the Healing card. And again, this is a potential blockage. It came out in reverse. Okay, Taurus? When the Healing card appears in the reversed position, it may signify a resistance to getting help and healing that could be born of fear. If you are experiencing an unresolved dis-ease, ask yourself if you are trying to treat it as mind over matter situation when your inner wisdom tells you that it needs more than that. If that is the case, do not be afraid. More often than not, we imagine the situation to be so much worse than it is. Reality is often very different. Do not prevent an opportunity for healing because you are afraid, or hold on to a stubborn belief that you can handle it or heal yourself if you just think positively. Positivity and prayer can work miracles, but not when they are being used as wound dressings over an untreated or infected wound. You do not have to endure alone. Reach out and ask for help. Do not let your fears prevent you from finding the treatment and help that you need. So again, with the Fool in reverse, to me this indicates, and especially this card, the Nine of Swords in your outcome cards, there's significant fear and anxiety surrounding the situation. There's definitely some things that need to be addressed in this relationship if it is to move forward. So let's check out the Wisdom card. Again, that was also in reverse, and we'll see what this has to say for you. Here we go, Taurus. We all have a side to our nature that is not pretty or kind, depending on one's perspective and point of view. We are all guilty of judging others, of being critical, of being selfish, and putting our own needs before the needs of others. We all possess the ability to be unkind, intolerant, and closed-minded. We all have moments when we have been both dogmatic and bombastic. The wisdom card in reverse asks you to accept these moments and understand their necessity or the loving necessity of the shadowy aspects of your nature. Otherwise, you will only see part of the lesson being offered. You will see minor details instead of the whole, and the whole truth is that if you stand in the light, you will cast a shadow. Without this recognition, you will find the journey toward wisdom a long and arduous one. Therefore, look to this reversal as presenting you with the opportunity to look within and question what you fear, hate, or condemn in others, and deny or condemn within yourself. The darker aspects of your nature can often be your greatest teachers, and while the truths revealed may sometimes be harsh and uncomfortable, they bring with them the power to heal and empower. Use this time to get to know those aspects of your nature that you may pretend not to have noticed, and see them in the light. Know them, learn from them, see them change and become beautiful, and your perspective shifts. They are all part of the divine and human being that is you. Well, these two cards definitely resonated for me in this reading. I have to say, and again, I feel like I'm reading for the Queen of Wands. I feel like the Queen of Wands has accepted some responsibility and some wrongdoings within this relationship. I think that she has faced some of her shadow self and dealt with it. On the other hand, this King, and he's represented by both the King of Pentacles, King of Wands, has not. So one of these parties is ready to move forward and the other party is not, because one party has accepted some of the shadow energy she's embodying and the other party is not accepting that or willing to look at it for what it is. So anyway, I'm going to leave that here, Taurus. I hope that this reading gave you some clarity and allows you to move forward in some way, shape, or form. If you are looking to reconcile with this King, he needs more time. If you do approach him, approach delicately. Maybe offer a neutral, outreach of affection, or just try to connect in a neutral way and see how he responds. I hope that you are able to move forward in a positive way within this relationship. Thank you so much for joining me. If this did resonate, please like, share, and subscribe, or leave a comment if you want. I hope I see you again soon. Take care. Bye, Taurus.